Greetings, friends. Welcome back. So, last night I had a dream. Um, last night I had a dream, and in the dream it was like we're in a school. You know those old schools with you know, I don't know, like concrete floors or something. And like there's a school in Minneapolis. It's like Sabathani or the old Bryant High School or something. You know, the brick schools. Anyway, it was like our church had bought a school and had all these different like programs or something. I don't know. But I was in a class. I wasn't teaching it, but I wasn't a student. My pastor was teaching the class, and I want to say it was like adult education to some degree. And at some point, my pastor, while he was teaching, very great teacher, a very great teacher. While he was teaching, he has his son who was like a toddler. He's like 2 years old. He was in a hallway. He was like, yeah, get him. But it kind of interrupted the class a little bit. So he was like, I'll be right back. And so I don't know if it was my responsibility to teach the class or take up wherever, you know. And at some point I needed to go to the office to get some supplies in somebody else's backpack for this class to finish it. So I'm walking to the class. I'm walking to like the office, you know how like front desk office area in schools are, to pick up somebody's backpack and some other supplies to go back to this class. And there was a group of ladies, and one lady was like, it was this lady, she was like gorgeous. And not that in the dream I was like, oh, you know what, it was just like her and like three other women. And I was like, yeah, I can show you, right? So mind you, I'm something like a teacher, like a fill-in, some type of liaison, something, right? And so I'm walking, and this group of ladies, I'm like, yeah, I can show you, I can get you there. When we get to the class, and in my brain, I assumed they were going the same place I was. And one of the ladies was like, yeah, I can hold this backpack for you. And I was like, okay, cool. And while we're walking, I was like, this lady right here, she's kind of gorgeous, man. I was like, okay, this would be interesting. How am I going to teach a class and got this gorgeous lady? Like, this would be interesting, kind of fun. And then I realized as we're walking, they're not going to the same place I'm going to. We may be in the same building, we may be in the same organization, but we're not necessarily going to the same place. And I was like, even though she's cute, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. And I had to tell one of the ladies, like, actually, you know what? I got to take that backpack, my supplies, right? I got to take this backpack to a different class. So, and that was my way of saying, I ain't going to be in your class, type of, don't get distracted. And as soon as I said that, oh, don't get distracted, that's when I woke up. So I would say, there may be people in your life, there may be people in the same organization, there may be people in the same business, there may be people from the same family, from the same neighborhood. You may be pursuing something may be nice and pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the flesh, and it may look like a great opportunity, it may look like a great circumstance, but do not get distracted. Everything that looks nice ain't necessarily gonna line up with your purpose. Everything that look nice ain't gonna necessarily line up with what God is plan for you. And you got to be humble and teachable, right? You got to be humble and willing to be taught, willing to be corrected, willing to be redirected, so you don't end up in a place that God has not purposed for you. My friend Richard Sharp said this to me. He quoted somebody else, if you do not understand the purpose of a thing, abuse of it is inevitable, regardless of what your intentions are. Somebody else said this, my friend Tim Anderson said this. He said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I used to hate when he said that. I never quite understood it, because I was like, there's no way I could try to do good and it end up being evil, end up being wrong or bringing a place. Scripture also says there's a way that looks right to a man, that in the end it leads to death. And I guess at the end of the day, it's God is looking for us to be teachable, to be malleable, but there's no such thing as a roadmap. There's not a a formula in his walk with God. You know, people call religion and think, but when you love God every single day, you wake up, you wait, you pray, you press in, you listen, you thank God, you believe his word, you believe what he said, and then you let him lead you. Scripture says the just shall live by faith. They shall walk by faith and not by sight. And the steps of a righteous person are ordered by the Lord. And so as much as we want to know the end before the beginning, we got to trust that we have one in heaven that knows the end before the beginning and is the author and finisher of our faith. Seek ye first his kingdom, his righteousness, his glory. All these things will be added unto you. He withholds no good thing from us. He withholds no good thing from us. So anyways, that's what dream I had, and I just wanted to record it. I hope it blesses you. Do not be distracted. Do not be dismayed. Do not be led astray. Let man not be deceived. God is not mocked. He who sows to the flesh will reap corruption, will reap death. But he who sows to the Spirit will reap life. Will reap life. Don't be distracted by things that look nice and are probably just temporary, you know? And remember, recalibrate, refocus on your purpose. I love you, friends.